James from Mint Content here. Today we're going to talk about 7 steps to managing a complex tender response without a sales team. Story time. The request for tender your organisation has been waiting for is out. It's an important one. Winning could mean big things for your business. But as usual, there's too much to do, too much content to create, not enough time to do it in. Your anxiety levels peak as you ask yourself the million-dollar question. How the hell are we going to get this thing submitted on time? Make no mistake, managing a large tender response is very difficult. This video will teach you how to manage a complex tender response with ease. With a bit of organisation, anything is possible. I'll show you how my proven framework gets results and keeps stress levels under control. Not every company has the luxury of a fully equipped sales team or torrents and heaps of content that's already created. So not everyone can leverage a huge team to put a bid response together. But you know what? Unless you're a huge company, you don't even need one. Most sales teams in bigger organizations are inefficient. They run cumbersome, over-engineered processes. They don't have agile, nimble ability to course correct and create new content on the fly. So it can actually be an advantage to be a small to medium enterprise when you're putting together a tender response. Any small to medium company can leverage this strength against bigger organizations, but only if you have the right systems and the right focus. So run lean, run mean. With the right approach, you and your crack team of subject matter experts can move mountains with limited resources. And that's the fun of working inside a nimble operation. Flexibility, creativity, use it as an advantage. This is the system I've used over the last 5 years to manage more than 100 bid responses for 2 companies, Cordelta and Veritech. I just put the first bid in for government work for Mint Content. And the way I do it is I manage a complex tender response with just 7 steps. The first step is, number 1, actually read the RFT document in full. This sounds quite simple, but you'd be surprised to learn how rare it is for a respondent to actually read the whole RFT document. The fact that they're generally pretty dry and boring is no excuse. You've got to read it. You've got to read all of the accompanying material, any reference material that the client references there, like annual reports or strategic documents that are available online, etc. So think of it as a chance to increase your understanding of the problem domain. Read the requirements in depth and reverse engineer the thought process that went into their creation. So seek to understand your client. If you can talk to the client contact and get as much information from them about their requirements, do so. Get as much information as you can. Number 2, decide if it's worth pursuing. Your time and resources are limited, especially in a smaller company. Make sure you have a good chance of winning the work, otherwise it's just a waste of everyone's time. If it's a long shot, there better be a good reason to proceed. Maybe it's an opportunity to build out your company's intellectual property or create new case studies. If there's no good reason, forget about it. Don't squander resources on low probability long shots. Number 3, craft the win theme. A directionless or scatterbrained bid response will get you nowhere. Focus your response on a win theme to make it more persuasive. I have another video about how to construct a win theme. Please watch it if you need to understand what a win theme is. It doesn't matter if the project that you're doing a bid response for is worth $20,000 or $20 million. Pick one single theme that alleviates your prospective client's deepest need. Position and focus on the benefits and value of your offering to it. Number 4, assemble your team. Have you seen the film The Avengers? Half the movie was about them assembling the team of superheroes, getting them in the same room, motivated and on the same team. When you're dealing with your own busy team of different personality types, egos, subject matter experts, technical staff, it can be just as frustrating. Everybody has different priorities, but it's vital to make this meeting happen. Keep your team focused. Book in a couple of hours to go through the RFT response line by line. use this opportunity to discuss the bid and further unpack the client's pain points. You're the bid manager. That means your role is to control the bid response all the way to submission. Which brings me to point number 5, control delivery. Make a task list of all of the response elements for completion. Assign tasks to your team with time estimates and deadlines. Basically, you're running a small project here, and it needs to be treated like one if you're going to move mountains and generate a high-quality response as the final product. This is the bid's sprint plan. You can use a spreadsheet, a tool like Jira or MS Project, but make sure the delivery expectations are clear with the team. Keep the team focused using daily stand-up meetings if possible. This is where you must use project management skill to keep the team on track. Try to keep it agile, and by doing that, I suggest a 5 to 10 minute scrum to keep the bid team producing content and on track. If it's a remote team, use Skype. A weekly progress meeting just doesn't cut it when the team is large and the bid is complex. So keep your finger on the pulse and you'll discover that issues raised early make course correcting much easier. Number 6, edit, collate, and format content. Not everyone is Ernest Hemingway. Give yourself enough time to edit and rewrite content to make it clear and on point. Make sure you account for quality assurance tasks in the task list. Use clear expression, avoid typos. Word documents versus online wiki tools. Prospective clients often require proposals submitted in their response format, which is generally a standard Microsoft Word template or a PDF. As such, document wrangling can be a nightmare. Compatibility issues crash the response document. Lots of work is lost when documents are corrupted or overwritten. Even with enterprise document sharing solutions like Trim, SharePoint, Dropbox, a Word document can't handle more than a few editors simultaneously. The solution is simple. Create a repository for documents, for document content in a wiki tool that has version control and rollback capability, something like Atlassian's Confluence. Copy and paste the client's response template into the wiki and you'll have a web-accessible document with no compatibility issues. Permissions to review and edit are easy to control from Confluence, while pages can be shared and alerts sent to staff by email notification to contribute. When it comes to formatting the response document, save formatting for last. Assign a designated document wrangler who's got some experience if possible, and task them with branding the document for your organization's styles and logo. This is actually harder than it sounds. It's an art in itself. Number 7, submit the response a day early. No exceptions to this. Do not risk a late submission, especially if submission is via an online portal. They can get overloaded. There's always something that can go wrong at the last second. So make sure you beat the mad rush to the finish line and submit early. How does your company manage a response? Any other tricks that I've failed to mention? Feel free to leave comments or shoot an email over on the contact form at mintcontent.com.au. Until next time, James from Mint Content.